Hey guys, hope you're doing great. So, I wanted to make this video about how I landed two part time jobs here in Sydney within 1 week of landing here in Australia. Many people say that landing part times in here takes at least a month or two to find, and mostly it's easier to find in the months of September and October because that is when a lot of retail outlets start hiring for Christmas casuals. So here Christmas casuals is like a big openings in retail industry, but I currently work in hospitality, so I know much about hospitality than retail. So I have been working in hospitality for almost a month right now. It's been like almost proper 1 month since I came to Sydney in here. So, firstly, as soon as I landed here, I did a lot of research about how part times in here work, and then I got to know there are like three different kinds of jobs. One is part time, casual, and full time. Firstly, for casual, a benefit is that you have job security, but in casuals, you don't have that kind of job security, and they don't properly lay out how many hours in a week of work you will be given with. So that kind of job security isn't there in casual work. They'll call you at any time, and if you're available at that time you would have to show up. But the plus side of casual is that the pay is like far more higher than in part-time jobs. So in that sense casual is nice. So you have to figure out how your college timings and schedules are, and you have to communicate it well with your employees to make sure that there is like good communication between you and your manager. Because here in Australia, Australians value this kind of communication so much. I still remember the first week, the first 4 5 days, I've been trying so hard in all the retail outlets. I tried at DFO, Meyer, and a lot of other malls as well. I printed out 20, 30, 40 resumes of all my skills. But honestly, we, having come from India, we don't have experience working in, honestly, in retail and hospitality, right? So what I did was, all the skills and experiences that I have gained through my extracurricular activities, and because I did like a lot of you know public speaking, community service, volunteering, leadership, stuff like that. So I added stuffs in my resume, the skills that were all transferable from my own experiences. And I'd also say, do not bluff in your resume, like be honest with whatever you're putting in. So because if you're called for an interview, then you have to be like super honest with what you're saying. That honesty would not come if like you have lied in whatever skills and experiences that you have put in your resume. But this doesn't apply for me because both of the jobs that I got it without a resume itself. Like, all those resumes that I printed out were all for retail. I got fed up with that because they were all hiring only in like late October. I landed here in August 23rd. I was searching job for like one and a half week, I guess. And I still remember one day, one fine day, one morning, I was like so optimistic. I went all around in Sydney Olympic Park asking for jobs in hospitality, and luckily, one restaurant and bar, that's a resto bar actually, they asked me to come for a trial that day itself. And they asked me to do all the work, and at the end of the day they saw my work and they were like pretty impressed, and they hired me the same day. And then after getting hired there, I got paid like I think around $200 for 8 hours. In that whole week I worked for 8 hours and I got paid $200. With that money I got my RSA, which is the responsible service of alcohol. For any of you guys who are wishing to work here in hospitality, you have to get RSA, which is like a must in here for all of the people in here who are like selling or serving alcohol, because restrictions in Australia are like super strict about what things you can sell here, the spirits and all. So it's not like India where like anybody can sell alcohol. In that sense I feel like Australia is like quite nice. So that is a little bit costly though, $150. But if you, that's like an online exam, you can, if you give that, that would add a lot of value to your resume as well. So with that I got an interview at Akker. That also I walked in into a subsidiary of the Akker, which is actually an international company, international hospitality brand, um, under which the Sydney Olympic Park Stadium, like bigger five-star hotels like Novotel, Pullman, Ibis, all comes under Akker. And luckily, I went there for an interview, and they got impressed by that as well, and I got a casual job in there. So here, casual jobs vary differently depending upon different industries. For hospitality, in the industry that I work, it's 25% of casual loading on top of $25.85, because 25.85 is like the base pay rate that you get paid, and on top of that you get paid of 25% during weekdays and 1.5% on Saturdays, and 1.75% of $25.85 on Sundays, which is in my opinion a really good pay to cover all of your expenses. So yeah, but I feel like before coming here, like research a little bit about your place where you're going to stay, because the commute to your part-time job should also not take too longer. It should be like maybe like 5 to 10 minutes. If that's the case, then that would be like really easier for you to, you know, go to work, because if you're a student, it shouldn't be taking a lot of time for you to travel, in my opinion. So do a little bit of research, do like, and also like talk to your friends or seniors or relatives and ask them if they know anyone who's like already working somewhere in part-time or casual here in Australia. If that's the case, then that's like super easy for you to get a job here, because referrals here is like the number one thing that you can rely on. That's like very easy, that would get you a job very quickly in here. Or else you will have to try in all the online portals like Seek, Jora, Gumtree, stuff like that, because that is where most of the retail jobs and all other most of the jobs in here are posted in there. But in my opinion, the two jobs that I got were all just like just walking in and pitching myself. So if you're good with communication, I would say like go with walking into whichever outlets you want to work in. Just like go try it out, even if you face reject. I, I'm not even kidding. I literally faced that day around 20, 30 rejections. Like people were like, what, I still remember I went to one, I think that was called as Sumo or something, the shop. I went inside, there was like um she was an Asian, I think. I asked, do you have any job in here that I can work, do you have any part-time? She was like, I don't hire anyone, I work by myself. That was so rude, but still I was like, okay fine, like you have to, you know, accept all of those kind of rejections and not be you know, shy to ask it out. Only if you ask you'll get, obviously. So yeah, like try it out to your level best, and I hope you get one to at least, like, you know, pay off your expenses in here. Thank you so much. And if you guys like to hear about all the expenses that's you know, in here in Australia, then I'd like to make another video about the same. So do let me know in the description below, sorry, in the comments below. Thank you so much.